Hola, warrior sisters. So I wanted to come on here today and talk about what I'm learning this week in my meditation teacher training course. So we're reviewing back in one of the days of the meditation challenge we talked a little bit about the nonviolent communication. And so now we're going back into that, and that book is on my list, but I haven't read it yet. But there are some videos that were shared with me, so I started watching those. And they're so good and so insightful, especially when you're having any kind of trouble with communicating. And like today, like this morning is a perfect example of that. In the morning, my kids were just going at it. They're both teenagers. My daughter is about to be 14 on Saturday. And my son is 19. And so they're both teenagers, and they both have, she has more she struggles with being able to express herself and get how she feels and her needs out there. And he is just like a bulldozer. Because he's more, he's a little bit better at it, but he goes about it in a way that just triggers her. So they just go at it back and forth. And it drives me absolutely insane sometimes, but and then I get involved, and then I feel I can see some things that are triggered within me, trying to sometimes just stay out of it and let them resolve it, because it's something that they need to learn, but also it's something I need to work on as well. So they sure have taught me a whole lot about and he even mentions in these videos, they're really funny. There's parts that are really funny, and about how at a young age your kids they have no problem telling you what their needs are. When a baby cries, you pick up on what their needs are, and that's their way of communication. And so as they get a little bit older and they start to develop their speech, what's one of the first words that they use? No. You want them to do something? No. And then you try to get them to do things. Well, and then, they don't appreciate that. And so then you make them wish they did what you wanted. And then they make you wish that you didn't do something to, they make you wish you didn't do that. So it's there's not really a whole lot that you can make them do. And so using your words in communication in a nonviolent way, and that doesn't mean being a pushover or being mean or being too nice. It just means you're stating what you want, what your needs are, in a way that's not going to trigger. And so I shared the link above in the comments above the video. It's called The Basics of Nonviolent Communication by Marshall Rosenberg. And it's really good for, parents with their kids. It's good for spouses. It's good for family. It's good for communication with people at the school and any other institutions. He even used it in an example of two warring tribes where people were dying because of it. And so after they got together and he helped them to talk about what's really the main issues of their needs not getting met, they were able to resolve it and no one else had to die. And that's huge, So this is really important work that he has put out there, and I'm going to share the video. And I just started it at the beginning and just let it roll, because on YouTube it just will roll into the next video or to the next. And I think I got up to the third set yesterday, but I was just listening to it while I worked, and it's really and there's some exercises in there too that you can do to kind of play out the conversations, and you can see the difference between because you always want to stay in the observation versus the interpretation. So in interpretation, there's judgments. So I'll give you an example. I have some words that are interpretations and not feelings. Interpretations are what you think someone is doing to you. They create defensiveness in the listener, and they stimulate conflict. And so they're kind of passive-aggressive expressions of emotions designed to give your power away. And so instead, you want to become familiar with interpretive words and build a vocabulary for these feelings and needs that you have. So here's some examples of interpretations, not feelings, okay? So abandoned, abused, accepted, attacked, belittled, betrayed, blamed, cheated, criticized, disliked, distrusted, harassed, interrupted, insulted, judged, left out, let down, manipulated, mistrusted, misunderstood, neglected, threatened, provoked, put down, unheard, unloved, unseen, unwanted, used, victimized, violated, wronged, shamed. So these are some words that we kind of do mix up with our feelings, but they're not. They're interpretations, they're a judgment. So, and like, you know, no one can really make you feel a certain way. And so the feelings, here are some feelings that, some words of feelings when your needs are not satisfied, that you can use, like afraid, apprehensive, dread, panicked, scared, worried, annoyed, angry, disconnected, agitated, embarrassed, ashamed, fatigued, burnout, pain, grief, heartbroken, remorseful, regretful, sad, depressed, disappointed, unhappy, tense, anxious, cranky, fidgety, irritable, restless, vulnerable, yearning, jealousy or jealous, longing, nostalgic. And so here's some needs that, or feelings that are when your needs are getting met. Affectionate, compassionate, confident, empowered, open, proud, excited, amazed, engaged, absorbed, enchanted, hopeful, spellbound, grateful, appreciative, peaceful, fulfilled, joyful, amused. Good morning, Tressa. How are you today? We're just talking about conscious communication. And there's a link above this live for a video series. So I encourage everybody to watch it. It's really good. Exhilarated, blissful, ecstatic, exuberant, radiant. Those are all feelings that you can express when your needs are satisfied. And then like your needs are neither exhaustive. It's a list that's neither exhaustive or definitive, and it's just a starting place. So these are words that you can use to express your needs, like acceptance, like the connection, belonging, affection, community, companionship, compassion, air, physical well-being. You know, you need air, you need food, movement, exercise, rest, sleep, sexual expression, safety, shelter, honesty, authenticity, integrity, presence, play, joy, humor, peace, beauty, communion, ease, harmony, inspiration, autonomy, freedom, independence, space, spontaneity, meaning, awareness, celebration of life, challenge, clarity, consciousness, contribution, creativity, effectiveness, growth, hope, learning, stimulation, understanding. And so I want to give you an example of like a situation where you could try to like practice this, and that's one of the exercises in the videos that he uses. And so you think of a situation that you're having an issue with someone who you're having like some kind of a communication breakdown. And like for my example, it was like my daughter goes to school every day. She hates doing homework. She doesn't do it. If she does do it, she doesn't turn it in. So I'm trying to figure that one out, and I'm trying to like express my want for her to turn it in. And she's like, no, I don't want to. And, you know, so we have that going on. And so my example was she doesn't do her homework. And so a way that I could go to her and tell her that, you know, how it makes me feel or what I want, in a way, instead of saying, you need to do your homework, it's due, why aren't you doing it? You know, you're supposed to do it. You go to school for a reason. I'm trying to, you know, you gotta go and do your homework and turn it in and you get a grade for it. And like with the school, the system is so broken, and I wish to God that I could do like something totally different right now. But if I could homeschool and work and everything at the same time, I would totally do that. But like for the moment, this is where we're at, and you know, she needs some extra help, and so I fight for her to get that. But at the same time, she has to be willing to do it as well, and I can't make her do it, and no one can make her do it. She's got to be the one to decide. And so, and the schools, they push them ahead. They push them ahead no matter how, you know, if they're failing all their classes, they'll push them forward until senior year and hold them back at senior year, which I think is fucking ridiculous, and it pisses me off. But I digress. So the way I could approach her instead would be to express my needs. So I would say, when you do this, I feel. And then that's when you would insert the feeling. So you would say, so I'd say, when you do this, I feel disappointed and worried because, and you don't want to say you, because when you turn it back to them, then you add the judgment. And so you want to bring it back to you, keep it on yourself. So I'd say, when you do this, I feel disappointed and worried because I have a need for you to succeed so you can graduate, because I want what's best for her. And so I want you to do your homework and turn it in. So I could say it a whole different way that wouldn't trigger her response of like, you know, being defensive and coming at me like, you know, all these reasons why she doesn't want to do it. So, and then I would imagine her to say, well, I hate homework. And then I would ask, well, I try to get down to her need or what's not being met because she's not doing her homework. And I would ask her like, well, are you feeling insecure because you need more clarity on your homework? And so that would bring up a whole discussion on what she needs to get her to express, like, what is it that's really keeping her from wanting to do it, besides the fact that she hates school and hates homework. So it brings out a whole different dialogue instead of the whole, like, back and forth, who's right, who's wrong, and turning it into, like, a whole heated argument, which, you know, two teenagers in the house is it can get pretty intense sometimes. So do a lot of smudging. But, you know, like, just having that whole different dialogue would totally, like, I could totally see how that would help us. So I'm going to see if I can get my kids to watch these videos, and then we can have, like, we can know what we're talking about. Because if I go to them and start talking to them like this, they're going to think I'm fucking nuts. But if I, like, show them the video so we can all watch together and we can all, like, try to change the way that we communicate with each other, and especially with them, because they just go at it and they don't hold back because they're kids. And so, you know, I think this would really help. And so I just wanted to share this with you all because, you know, I know everybody's different in their families and situations and all of that, but, you know, I've still got my kids in my house. But if you don't, you know, you have situations where you're involved with, like, other people at work or other clients or like family members, if you have get-togethers, if you have any issues with, like, institutions or, like, you know, whatever. It's great for communicating with anyone that you come in contact with that there's conflict or there's, you know, there's some kind of breakdown in the communication. You really want to get, like, this way, this conscious communication and nonviolent communication is like a way where everybody wins because everybody gets their needs met. Everybody expresses how, what they want, how they feel, and not like attacking, and in a way that doesn't attack. So you can still tell someone, you know, like, you left the dishes in the sink, you know, and, like, but not be, you know, it's not going to come across as, like, why are the dishes in the sink? You know, I've been working all day and you're sitting here at home watching TV and there's dirty dishes in the sink. Like, there's a different way to say stuff. Like, you could just say there's dishes in the sink and we need to eat. And, you know, like, there's, you're stating facts. You're not putting out you're not like evaluating the situation with your judgment. So it's a whole different way to communicate, and like you don't even realize that you do it sometimes. Like after I've like been going through these lessons, and I listen to myself and I listen to the kids, and I can totally see a difference, and I can still see some places where the words that I use could be totally different. It could totally have changed the dynamic of the conversation. So I just want to put that out there, because I'm all about raising awareness and consciousness and living in a state of really being present and like speaking with integrity, saying what you mean, and coming from a place of not harming people. And so I wanted to share this with you all because, you know, as warriors, we want to express ourselves. We want to stand up for ourselves, but we also want to do it in a way that's not harmful to other people, because it's not about fighting with everyone. It's about getting our needs met and making sure that other people have a chance to express that as well, and holding that space, and you know, being like having that integrity. And so I just wanted to share, because I was reading that, I was like, oh my God, I got to share this with the ladies, because I think it's so important, and it's really going to help you with your communication with anyone in your family or anything else that's going on with you, where you're involved with people. And if you're like an entrepreneur, you're involved with people, and so you're going to have people, you know, if you have like clients who don't want to do the work, or you have clients who, you know, you're trying to bring them into whatever it is that you're doing, and they have objections, or they get like, maybe they're getting defensive. And so you want to have like a platform where you can totally both express yourselves and share your needs, and your client wants to be feeling safe so that they can express their needs with you as well. And remember, it's not about you. Don't take it personal. So I just wanted to share that. And Tressa says, so good, I don't want to hurt others and be true. Yes, and be truly, yeah, it is hard. It is hard. If you watch the video, there's people that, well, I won't say it's hard, because it's something that we are born naturally. When kids are born, and little kids, they've been doing it for like a year, no problem, you know, and then we bring them up and we totally fuck that all up for them because of how we were brought up. So, but yeah, like the first year of everyone's life, we're all naturally able to communicate like this. So it's just getting used to it and getting back into it and remembering how to do it. And so this guy, he's kind of funny. It looks like a dry, like a conference, like a really dry conference, but it's funny. There's funny parts because he uses hand puppets, and he also he gets the crowd involved. So people will come up with their questions or whatever, their sentences, and he'll tell them whether it's like the non-violent or the violent. And he calls the violent the giraffe language, and the non-violent the giraffe language, and the non-violent, did I just say that again? Violent is jackal language, and the non-violent is giraffe language. And so he has puppets and stuff. It's funny. It cracked me up a few times. So it's really interesting, and I think it would help a ton of people. Like if more people were able to communicate this way, because I think it would make a huge difference in the peace that we all want in the world. So I just wanted to share that. I hope you all have a fabulous Tuesday, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.